Morning, everyone. It has been a great first quarter of 2025 for Harmony. Really want to tell you about our progress, but also what is the rest of the roadmap this year and going forward. We started the year with great result and launches, both on AI and DeFi and our network platform. We understand that AI would drive many of the sentiment as well as automation, social media interactions, not just this year, but for many of the industry, as well as many of the products coming from now, understand how to do DeFi, how to do use strategy, how to use products, how even kids learns about, in general, math, knowledge going forward. We have done many of the agentic framework. We have launched many of the product and research, understanding what we can do in the area. On the other hand, the market has been very volatile. For us to understand what will be the long-term wealth management, portfolio management, asset management, treasury management that we need to do. There's no doubt that Bitcoin strategic reserve will be critical for corporations, for countries, especially for crypto projects. We have been studying not just for the perpetual of many of the tokens and many of the DeFi products out there, but in particular for Bitcoin and many of the major way of understanding what management any of the money manager need to do. In particular, for myself, we've been driving with the team to do many of the research over the holiday during the Christmas and the New Year to get into the product launch mode earlier in this quarter. And we have done Pump.1, we have done many of the media campaigns, we have done many of the integrations to be possible, setting the integration and the product that we do this year. In particular, we have come back strong on the DeFi management for the cross-chain roadmap this year. We understand that there are many yield opportunities both in Bitcoin and many of the new ecosystem. We have been studying, in particular, the Sonic ecosystem launch from back in the day of the Phantom, that we have been a great relationship with, understanding many of the OG in DeFi doing the yield optimization, doing of the treasury management back in 2020. Even back in the 2018, we have been a great partners with many of the network founders, including the Phantom back in the time, understanding what they have gone through of a new network, what they have gone through doing treasury management. That now is actually a great time seeing another great network and the founder Andre coming back to launch many product. I've been obsessed understanding the products that not only as a network come back to launch many of the DeFi, but as a founder navigating the regulations and compliance framework to know that they have been a strong player managing the treasury, building the DeFi, understanding the network primitives, and having the campaigns now with the airdrop, with the new integrations to be what is still DeFi the next summer and the next campaigns going. We understand that this market is especially hard for the token and the launches, but the building is always going. We have been studying not just the research, but the products in many of the ecosystem to understand that what will be ultimately the users want. The users want yields, they want security guarantee, they need to understand what is impermanent loss, they need to really help manage the portfolio, and we are thinking very long term. We understand that each portfolio must have reserve of not just the dollars, but the Bitcoin and many of the major assets that you wish to hold for years. We understand that there will be certain pools that manage the volatility and the risk, much like a perpetual and the options that we studied last year, that finally is ready. Whether in Jupiter, whether in Hyperliquid, whether back in the GMX, we have studied many of the pool with mixed liquidity of many of the tokens that have managed the volatility very well. There are lots of research studies that we have asked the team to really hash it out for us, so that not just on Harmony, but anyone holding of this cross-chain asset would need to manage. But I've been thinking about very long term. We understand that both wallet and bridge and the UX has to be great. In terms of security, in terms of usage, there's always new and upcoming standard and improvement, and even via gateway, that's much more possible now than a few years ago when we launched the Crossfi for cross-chain asset management. That now not only you can use passkey to easily onboard without worrying about passphrase or seed phrases. Not only that you can have a wallet on mobile, but any way that you manage of backup, of a way to share multi-sig. But most of all, both the bridge and the source of the security, we can go back to more fundamental research to understand what can we manage over a long term. In particular, if we force ourselves to think about wealth management, rather than just participating in one class of asset that you invest, hold, trade, and be part of, then we understand that we not only allow multiple selections of asset in different networks, in different product categories, but helping them manage the risk, manage the security, helping them understand where the yield's coming from, what are the possible impermanent loss, toxic flow from arbitrage. These are the things that you have to worry about when the market is up or down, that not only you celebrate when everything's going up and pumping, but also going down and how to hedge it, but also think about your next generation, of how the wealth would accumulate over the years and decades. Create wealth in Harmony is something that I always believe, and it's something that's very hard and difficult when the security is something that everyone overlook and care about, that they don't know much about. We do know that that's something that we can do and can do better. So coming back here, the AI agents will always manage the last part for us once all the automation, all the knowledge, all the primitives are built out. We understand that everyone will be on social media, on X and Twitter, and on YouTube watching something to entertain themselves, to learn something new, to be part of the community. But AI agents and social media is only at the top, that when we fully understand what the product, where the yields are, and when the market is volatile, how to hedge it. So we've been actually using and testing more product because we know they are far more primitives and well done. In particular, there's still new exchanges, decentralized exchange in particular, coming out that innovate beyond what is people thinking it's just another clone, another forks. We do know that Uniswap V2, V3, and now V4 is the foundation, but there are much more innovations to come. Even the way that Pendle handle the points and the principles and trading some of these interest derivatives is something that we understand what users want to have but don't want to learn. So in coming months, we'll be not just studying, but understand how to bring it together, not only in an easy package, but something that I will use it myself. You will love to have it, and to get to the bottom of, if DeFi is a foundation, what can we build now, starting today? And I'm very glad the team not only bring it together and learn what are the new things, but be able to really, really use it. And from the network and platform side, we have been always very serious about providing the long-term upgrades and building, including the new EVM upgrades, including new finality, including new syncing, including new database state pruning, that we know these are the fundamentals that you're looking for. We will also keep driving the Twitter and the Reddit engagement. We have been really sending much more media now, but also engaging community in different social media platforms that would love to hear from you. Thanks.